already told you people. First one's free. Then what I say? I said I will shut that shit down. No exceptions. Now, I don't know what kind of lying assholes you've been dealing with, but I'm a man of my word. First impressions are important. I need you to know me. So, back to it.
White domestic terrorism. It's the next part we're getting ready to talk about. The Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's see here. The Ku Klux Klan was a group whose collective aim was to force the ex-slave back in his place on the plantation. Okay, that's all you need to know. What the Ku Klux Klan was about. The Klan openly and successfully recruited its members in churches, synagogues, and Masonic halls. Okay, so they everywhere. They everywhere. So whenever you're debating a white person about racism, and they want to say that racism is dead, I think it's KRS-One said it. We know where the Black Panthers are buried. We know what their uniform is. Where are the hoods? Where are the white hoods? They're still in effect. They're still in full effect. And we saw that with the when they came out and protested. I forget what it was about. But matter of fact, let me see here. I wanna make sure I everything is that I say is punctual and factual. Let's see. For the and this is breaking news. A breaking news update. Less than 22 hours ago, the KKK the KKK sign could return to downtown building. Okay, that's not black people doing that. That's white people doing that. We have no reason to do that. They even had the same Ku Klux Klan member who died the other day, and I think he died on Valentine's Day. I mean, you can just type in Ku Klux Klan, y'all, and you'll see so much shit. I'm talking about from this year alone. Every single date that I'm looking at is 8 hours ago, 22 hours ago, February, January 31st, January 24th, all of this KKK stuff. And you cannot tell me that racism is gone. Racism is not gone. Racism is just gone from the face of it just switched positions. Okay, it used to be covert, now it's on the low. Okay, but yeah, when they weren't contributing to civic pride, they were burning black businesses, farms, schools, property, and human beings. Now, let's look at that with black businesses, because that's what all of this is about. We're talking about the finance. We're talking about pulling yourself up by your own bootstrap. When the KKK did this, and the black people, if they did call the police or they did go to a sheriff's office, to report what had been done. Do you think that they ran into happy-go-lucky officers? No, they ran into racist officers who probably were involved in the burning of that building. You know what I'm saying? And then farms. You know, we worked on plantations. We knew what we were doing. We were providing for ourselves. But you come onto our farms and you burn our produce. Okay, schools. Okay, we had our own schools. Right now, you know, we have black colleges, but you know, it's not the same as you know, we need black elementary schools, we need black middle schools, we need black high schools, all black, teaching our own. Okay, because this system in which your children learn is specifically for you. This system basically tells the education system in which our children have to be involved. Okay, teaches a child how to be blind to racism, and it's when you say pull yourself up by your own bootstrap. It's those students who aced a lot of classes in high school to go on to college that were okay with the educational system, and because the educational system taught them to be blind to what their history, their past, their legacy. This is the beginning stages of the coon, of the Uncle Tom, of the sellout. These people that you like to point to and say, "Oh, but he made it." Okay. Let's see. Okay, here I am. With government sanction, protection, and participation, and that's what I just said. In case you missed what I said and how I just jumped back into this sentence, what I said was black businesses that when they weren't contributing to civic pride, the Ku Klux Klan. When the Ku Klux Klan weren't contributing to civic pride, they were burning black businesses, farms, schools, property, and human beings with government sanction, protection, and participation. Okay? So that happy-go-lucky officer that you think that the black person ran to, he didn't exist. Okay? So let's see what this word sanction means, because a lot of y'all like to act dumb. And I'm going to give you a definition based on your a threatened penalty for disobeying a law or rule. Okay, official permission or approval for an action. And that's the word that we're looking for. That's the definition we're looking for. Official permission and approval for an action. And that's the sanction that they got. Protection, you know what protection means, and you know what participation means. And a lot of you are participating by not opening your mouth to the racism that's going on, okay, in society today. And a lot of you like to point to, a lot of you like to put the black person on the spotlight or in the spotlight and ask them the question, show me where there is racism. Okay, what basically you're asking that question, looking for you're looking for the out in the open racism that cannot be questioned, that cannot be given a second thought. What you're looking for is complete utter segregation. But what we can point to you is, and I'm gonna make a video about this once I finish this one. I need all of my black people to know about this. Whenever they ask you about racism and where is it, point to Hollywood. Where is the racism? Okay. When they ask us where's the racism, they're looking for something overt, out in the open. But racism now is covert. It's on the low. And in Hollywood is the perfect place to see the degradation side of racism. Racism was not just segregation. Racism was segregation. And I need to write this down too so that I won't forget. Racism is separation, degradation, and those are just the first two things I could think of right off the top of my head, because I want to go ahead and finish this this part here, but that video is coming. So here we go. The so-called Red Summer of 1919 saw thousands of unhooded whites riot in 38 American cities, killing untold hundreds of blacks and destroying property in the millions of dollars. So when we see black people, I'm talking to you now, we have to stop asking for reparations. What they've done to us, there's not enough money that the government can give us for what they have done to us. Okay? Put that in my notes too. Because a lot of this stuff you don't think about until you actually read a book like this. You can't just read this book. You have to have some kind of political background, you know, not schooling, but just get off into some conversations. Be willing to lose some conversations, you know, some debates with these white people so that they can teach you in the process, because we're like the Super Saiyan, you know what I'm saying, or the Saiyan in general, that when they're defeated, they come back stronger than they were, and they defeat their opponent who obliterated them in the first battle. And that's what's going on with this, and that's why I keep the Negan intro and outro in these videos, because I was defeated in a lot of debates, but when they were thinking that they were winning, I knew that there was some information out there that I could get and just straight up annihilate them with. And this is the information that does it. Okay? And you black people, you have to get this book, and you better believe that a white person already has this book. Okay? That's why I'm not afraid to tell you to get this book, because they already have it. And they're already trying to make excuses or try to make rationalized explanations for why these things happen. You cannot rationalize evil. Evil is evil. Okay? If you're on the spiritual side, you know that there is no such thing as evil or good. But for our people to comprehend, okay, you can't rationalize what is disagreeable. Okay? So, let's see, where was I? And I hope I'm not jumping all over the place, because this is one of the best chapters in this, one of the best parts in this entire book. Yeah, that's what I was talking. I was talking about reparations. Reparations. We cannot ask for reparations, black people, because they've done too much. And they've destroyed too much. This is why they could give reparations to the Chinese. They could give reparations to the Indians. They could give reparations to everybody. Okay, you have to understand what happened with the Indians. That all of that was over. Let's see. Let's Google that. I'm sorry I'm making this video longer than it should be, but I have to give this information. Let's see. Okay. Well, let's take that back. I was wrong. But from here it says the American Indian Wars lasted from 1622 to 1924. Okay, that's just a quick Google search. Okay, and we know that we know how long ours lasted. Okay, ours is still going on today. And see, that's what a lot of white people are looking for when they ask us, where's the racism? Where is the segregation? That's all they want us to see. They're quick to point us to a basketball team. They're quick to point us to a football team or the football, the sports in general. But they never want to show us how we are degraded in this country. Okay? But yes, we cannot ask for reparations. They have destroyed too much over hundreds of years. Okay, but they would give a reparation to the Indians. Okay, and I want to say that just a quick thought that just came to my mind, that maybe their form of reparations to the black people could be the government assistance programs. But the reason that it could not be is because all of the government assistances that are granted to African American women are not granted to the African American male, because there are stipulations, just like in the housing program. The woman can't be married. Okay? There are situations where there are women who receive disability checks, okay, for mental issues or something to that effect, and once they get married, it's cut off. Okay? But it's something worth thinking about, and it's something worth looking into of government assistance being reparations. Okay. Jotting this note down right quick. Okay. So many blacks were massacred in one Texas county that the local paper complained that vultures became a nuisance. Okay, this here is important, and I probably put this in the description box. Such government-sanctioned community murder ensured that blacks would live in a constant state of terror, unwilling to risk death to cast a simple vote, and unable to achieve the financial stability necessary to accumulate wealth and then pass it on to subsequent generations. And when we talk about generational wealth, this is what we're talking about. Y'all getting it? We couldn't get ours. Okay? We couldn't get ours. And I believe that that's going to be talked about in a later section. But you destroyed all of our wealth and you took it. You killed every black person in that era who could have passed down their wealth. You destroyed the businesses so the child could own the business. Where did that leave them? The whole time you're getting your inherited wealth. You're getting your inherited wealth, and we have to fight for ours. Okay? And so this is why you get black people to come against us and and tried to tell us to pull ourselves up our own bootstrap. And they are the example that we are to follow. That's bullshit. Okay? The Ku Klux Klan only waned in its influence when local, state, and federal governments, through the various agencies and departments, more effectively achieved most of the KKK's main objectives. Okay. I'm going to repeat that again. I know you can rewind it, but I just got to repeat it. The Ku Klux Klan only waned in its influence when local, state, and federal governments more effectively achieved most of the KKK's main objectives. Okay? And when we ask what was the KKK's main objective, you go back to where it says the Ku Klux Klan, the group whose collective aim was to force the ex-slave back into his place on the plantation. I have not read the new Jim Crow. Okay? But we know that Jim Crow came into full effect. Let me find that in my notes. Jim Crow came into full effect in 1877. Okay? 1877. And Jim Crow did not end, okay, until the mid 1960s. This is well after the Brown versus Board of Education, which was 1954. But the government is doing what the KKK has been trying to do, and the government. This is why the government has yet to call the KKK a terrorist group. They have yet to call them a terrorist group. They do not call them a terrorist group. But they will portray themselves as being against the Ku Klux Klan, when they and the Ku Klux Klan are one and the same. Okay, so it is though the Ku Klux Klan is actually the useless henchman. Okay, that's what the Ku Klux Klan is. It's that useless henchman that when the plan is complete, he's either excommunicated from the fold, or he's killed altogether. But they can't do that, because the government can't do that, because you have KKK members that are also in government. Okay, look, I know y'all don't believe me, so let me Google that too. I know you don't believe me, but David Duke. Okay, so you can't say that David Duke was the only KKK member in government. Right down here in Louisiana, I'm from Shreveport. We know about David Duke. Okay, so a lot of people in the South, we know about this. We know about KKK being in different government organizations. This is why we don't trust the government. You know what I'm saying? This is why we do not respect government. You know what I'm saying? But they're hiding in government. And this is why the government cannot label KKK as a terrorist group, because when you start labeling them as terrorists, then you have to start finding them throughout government, just like with 9/11. 9/11, a lot of people who were Muslim in government started being looked at funny. So I'm not gonna make this any longer than I have to. The next part that we're gonna be discussing is gonna be the Compromise of 1877. I want you to go and do your research on that, black people. Go and do your research on that. Please get this book. And as always,
Still there? I don't know. It seems like you're trying to speak, but you just took a hell of a hit. I just popped your skull so hard, your eyeball just popped out. And it is gross as shit. God, I'll find you. Oh, hell. I can see this is hard on you guys. I am sorry. I truly am. But I did say it. No exceptions. You bunch of pussies.